What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and I got my camera settings back to where they're supposed to be. So yeah, we're back to 4K. So let's go. So we're gonna be doing the first set of reviews. I started doing these early last night. So they will probably go up starting on Friday, maybe afternoon, as they're already they should be uploaded. And then from there, I'm just pushing buttons on my phone. So what do we have in front of you? This is the AS-09 or 08 EVA. Now, this is the AS Toys version, not the MD version. So we're going to go over what I know about the MD versions versus the AS versions, which is what we have in front of here. Now, if you're familiar with this, this is Evangelion or Evangelion, whichever one you want to call it. The colors are based off the Unit 1. If you're familiar with the anime. It's made by Nerve. Now, I put the stickers on wrong because, well, I'm not very good putting out water slide stickers on, so I did the best I could. I just wanted to have enough symbols so it kind of mimics the MP10 version that was made from this. So officially, when we got a lot of the MP10 repaints, this was one of them. I had an original, whichever MP10 release that we have, I had one of the later Toys R Us releases. I think it came with, or no, was it like the one you could get from the e-tailers that came with Vector Sigma? Yeah, I remember. That's the one I had. Okay, and that came with like different colors and all. It was a lot. Well, they had this one, and I was teeter-tottering going into Soul Chogokin. I just started working, the job that I work at now, which already was more money than the job I had before, but at that time, so I started getting into like the Soul Chogokin toys, $200-300 price point, which I could afford even back then. So I forgot about this, and then all of a sudden the price went too high. I don't ever like overpaying. And then I remember when they were coming out with all these repaints, I said, if they do that EVA repaint, I'm gonna buy it. And sure enough, they did it. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, then I saw the stickers, but then I saw some without the stickers. So what you're seeing is the best I could do. These are not the blast, they don't come with the blast effects, but they do come with a lot. You get the trailer, you get the gun in the turquoise color with roller, you get the repair bay, and you get two blast effects, the axe and one blast effect. These are the ones that come with the original Optimus Prime. So for the sake of time, I just put these on to let you know that if you do have these effects from the original Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, it will fit. It's a little tight, but it will fit. So we see that there, and you see that here. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Because we got to go quickly because we need Prime to be in the next shot of the next video. So we won't see these again, but you know what these are, and they'll be, back in the trailer of Optimus Prime. All right, so let's go over the details real quick here. So first things first, we have a light gray trailer with a dark gray stripe, almost the opposite of the G1 Optimus Prime trailer, where this would be gray and then this would be a lighter color. And you put these water slide decals on here. And yes, I did. I was able to at least get this one on here. So it kind of gives that look here. But on the other side, homie got messed up. But, that's neither here nor there. But that's first things first. Let's look at the trailer because we're going to look at the cab last. Now, I did not get the one with the box, unfortunately, because I forgot to check that. But it's fine. For the price of $43 to get this, a very comparable repaint of SS'86 Optimus Prime. It's got die cast in certain places as well. I think that's a very big bonus. So let's move this back here so this doesn't fall. Also, my white it's something interesting about the KO that we're going to talk about. So if you pull the struts forward, see the differences in color here in the trailer. All right, let's move this out the way. I want y'all to see what the KO companies are doing. This is sad. So I used to do this as a kid. Well, mine's already coming off, but I want to show y'all something, man. I didn't even notice this until I was fiddling with this right here. So when you slide this back on, so see it's plastic. So you notice right there, you see those gaps. And I mean, it's probably not a big deal to some people, but I just happen to see that. Even though the trailer's a little tad bit lighter, they're actually filled in. Do you see that? Yeah, see? Both sides are filled in. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. This is Come on, Hasbro. But the only thing I didn't like was the struts here are very thin. I mean, they feel fragile. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the SS'86 version. Yes, there is a difference in a plastic quality. Like this has more of the SS'86 version definitely has more of a finish and kind of a thickness to it. Than this has more of a matte feel. This is very slick and gloss. It does feel a little, I'll be honest, it does feel a little more premium, but as you can see there, it's almost like they're the opposite colors of each other. Let's just get it better yet. Let's get a stacking on top. Not gonna really open them up because I ain't really got time for all that. But you can see that it's like they're the opposite of each other to the T. Like you see that, like this, yeah. So, hey, that's what you're getting, of course. And we'll put that down. If you want to see let's go ahead and show off the rollers and the guns and everything, because I think he does come with more stuff. So where he comes with 2, and of course he comes with the, his version, and even this this one feels a lot nicer. Of course the effects are a little more opaque. I prefer the clearness of it, and of course the roller. Let's get that off. Put that back on, because really we're gonna be rolling fast right into robot mode. It's like I said, we've got a lot of reviews to do. So we're gonna put those to the side for a second. Now everything fits a lot easier on the original and it does on him. It feels a little tighter. But the rollers, they're about the same. I mean, they're really, really, really about the same. Like this just has like a silvery gloss to it, while this looks like a matte, just molded in plastic type thing. And of course the guns, even the gun, like I said, this feels like matte, but it still looks good. It doesn't look cheap. Like if you saw this, you wouldn't think, but this just has a gloss to it. That's all, like a gray. See, that way we can see it a little better without all my fingers in the hands and fingers in the way you can see it. All right, so that takes care of that. That takes care of the rollers. And of course, with the Prime, again, this is what I want to point out. It's like the details on both of these. Let's put them together this way. It's easier to see. This is where we're going to start, because I saw this in a lot of the reviews and I don't think people really paid attention to it. The MD matches these little ridges and things. You see that? They're like these little indentations on the inside of like the this part where it's like a pattern. This doesn't have it. It's just plain, and you can see the difference in the molding. Now they do have the same like rivet points and things along the truck. They also do fix the smokestacks from, moving away and everything like that. But as we go down to other parts, it's the same thing. Like on the MD, from what a few people have been telling me, it pretty much is identical to the SS'86, while the AS toys, they don't have that extra etching within the plastic. That's, one of the things they don't have. However, these parts are plastic on him, and this part is made of die cast. The tires are very similar, where these are darker and his are a lot lighter of a gray plastic. Underneath, it's about the same. Like I don't see much of a difference in the missing etching or anything like that. But the coolest thing about, and the feet are well painted, is the fact that the lights are, the feet are on correctly. So to me, the KO still gets way more props. Now, here in the other details as well, when you get to this part, this is where you can see the cheapness of the AS toys, is inside of here, there are extra little patterns that are there etched in right where my finger are. You may not be able to see that. I'll try to see if I can zoom in, but I just want to give you guys an idea on that. But yeah, that's pretty much, like these extra little rivets and things. You can't see them, so it's really hard. This is not like a full robust lens camera. It's a camera though. That's all you need to know. But basically, yeah, that's pretty much, the same. It's where the lack of details are, but it's very, very, very subtle. Like you probably won't notice that, but that's just things I noticed because, I want to give full details because we're doing a full review. Now the headlights are interesting too. Here on the front, they're about the same. Again, the etching here is the same. The lights here have like a diamond pattern. They kind of stick out, while these are flat. That's what they are. The windows, you can take these off. I guess you could pry these off too and change the windows to maybe those if you want. If you had a spare one. I mean, it's only at $40, right? Why not get two? You might be able to replace these with those and kind of make close to a JAFCON Gold convention version. it won't work. But yeah, other than that, everything else identical, the same. Rolls just as good as the original. Has everything that you can have. You can, if you want to use the trailer for the original just to be petty like that, you can. So some people say, you can't do that. Well, you can, and you can have him pulling the trailer. I mean, it's options. It's a thing that you can do if you want to do that. And, in the words of the MGO, then of course, like I said, you just want to put everybody back to their perspective calves. Then you can, and you got your stuff right here. So yeah, it does look nice. It is worth if you want this, I'm already going to tell you, for $40, it's $40. Some places even selling it cheaper. It's going to knock your socks off that you're paying $100 for this and you're paying a fraction of the cost for this, and very minor details are missing. That's it. Even it's scary how that is, but that's what we get. So we've done the first half of this video. Now we're going to do comparison with the robot mode and get out of here, because now we're going to have to go to the next video after this. So as always, we'll be back in the lovely 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we now have the AS-09 or 08 EVA in its robot mode. And again, we did show these off earlier. Everything is blood red and very clear. And the gun here is, that color. Now, articulation is the same as the original Optimus Prime. We'll raise the camera up just a minute. Everything is super tight. Leg goes out to here. Again, this is the die cast points. Leg goes back to here. He does have the traditional weight swivel, although sometimes parts do come out because of the nature of the toy. But still, he's pretty cool. Once you get everything in place, he does, should do a 360. It does get a little hard. The plastic, again, does feel rough. He does have that. Of course, he has the open and closing hands. They're rough. He has the feet swivel. Kind of gives me like a Joker color. I don't know why. Has the feet swivel, as you can see right there. Jean-Claude Van Damme. And the question is, he sure can. So yeah, he can still do that. Let's look at the head sculpt real quick. And I think the head sculpt is one of the coolest things on here. As you can see here, it's different than that of the G1 Prime. You get a little bit more light on that, and you can see that there. All right, turn off the extra flash. We'll put everything down. Make sure that goes into place. And he has the same butterfly, everything that the original Optimus Prime did. The SS'86 version, it does that. So we'll put the axe and the gun in his hand, and then we're just going to compare to the original Optimus Prime, and then we'll do the final thoughts. We're almost done. This is not going to be too long a review because, I wanted to show off the vehicle modes, but other than that, we're pretty much done. And yes, this thing, we'll say that for the end, though. We'll say that for the end because it does get on your nerves. There's tolerances that are way too tight for what they are. But that's because at the end of the day, despite what a lot of people want to say, there's a certain refinement process with plastics that, there is some added cost. I mean, these factories, they're not owned by Hasbro. They pay them a price to get the work done. That's why they go overseas. You pay more, you get what you pay for. So the KO company is doing it themselves. They're going to lack certain refinement. They're going to lack that certain process, and thus you're going to get, this tolerance. And I know some of y'all want to bash Hasbro, but it's not about bashing Hasbro. Hasbro has their own things that they do that are wrong. I'm going to say that, but you also have to use common sense when collecting to understand processes, so you're not just going on to just one tangent and following the crowd. naysayers who just want to talk and sound important when they're not. So when you put the gun in his hand, this is how he looks. I love the color of this gun. It's that crazy color blue. The axe is clear. I mean, man, but yeah, for $40, 40 some odd dollars, this is worth your hard-earned money. Get it directly from AliExpress. You know what I'm saying? This, then some places are cheaper, but it's like $14, $15 to ship. So it's going to be $40. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the original Optimus Prime. As you can see here, yes, the head sculpts are different. I'm not going to try to take the head off. And my head sculpt's already worn. The paint is worn out because it's not paint, it's the plastic. So yeah, I'm only looking at head replacements. But yeah, you can see it here. Like I said, the plastic quality on this one it's nicer. You can see it in certain places, like the feet and everything like that. But yeah, from the side, I mean, they're identical, man. They're really identical, man. Like, it's just weird how this is so much cheaper than this one, and that's crazy. It's just insane how that happens. But yeah, they do really look good together. I like them. All right, let's do our final thoughts. Back to 2. All right, so here are my final thoughts on the AS-09 EVA. It's a nice prime if you're looking for this color. It's a niche color that was, again, done for the MP10. Always something I wanted to see on a prime officially, which they did only in Masterpiece, but never in the main line. Evangelion is it's not on my list. I like the mecha from it, but it wasn't something that I'm not a fan of the anime. I know it. I've watched it. I know its story, but I'm not a fan of it. Like, it's not something I go back and watch because I always hated the premise of Evangelion. But I've owned EVA 1, EVA 2, EVA 3, the different ones. I don't know if you remember when, EV Games, Babbage's, EV Games before it became GameStop. They used to sell like these figures. They had like Vash the Stampede. They had the big guy from Vash the Stampede. That thing is worth boatloads of money. They used to sell like the old McFarlane Spawn figures. You could buy it. They had that 6 robotic Spawn set. That thing make that huge Spawn. I never finished that one out. I sold those. But they also sold the EVA units. I forgot who made them. I don't know if it's Kotobayua. Kotobayua used to make them, I think. And it came with like a lot of accessories. And they had all the colors, like this color, the red. And I had a few of those. They were pretty nice. And they had one that came in like a special box that had like the, frame and everything if you wanted that one. I think that's the one I had because I remember selling that one. I never opened the guy, the big guy, strong guy from, or what is it, from Bash. But I'm just saying that's the EVAs that I had. And I didn't really go any further. Like, I want like Orgus. I'm still looking for Orgus Ogroid. And I think I want this like 1/48 scale version. Not 1/48. That's the Ari Toys. It's the like 1/24 scale or something, from way back in the day. So yeah, I'm just saying, I'm going off on a tangent, but there's a reason why. Because I'm not a fan of it, but trust me, I know who Shinji is, Asuka, all that. I know the story. It's weird. I've seen the end of Evangelion, the original cut. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it. But when they put these colors on Prime, it's vastly different from the Nemesis, the white, all the standard, colors we would get. Even the Shattered Glass, this just stands out. It has I love the contrast of colors on Optimus Prime. And I've always wanted this. And I was like, man, I wonder if they're going to do an Evangelion. And sure enough, there it was. I said, I'm going to find out. I'm going to get it. And $40, I'm like, man, that's cheap. So he got bought. I do recommend getting them if you need a Prime. Like if you don't want to spend $100 on the Prime, this will blow your mind on this one because it's like you're getting practically everything for half the cost. The caveat is the tolerances and the plastic. Plastic has that weird smell. Alcohol wipe. I have 70% alcohol wipes just to get that. And then after that, I had to use WD-40 to loosen up some joints here and there. But other than that, it's a cool piece. Will I like Transformers? The answer to the question is no, I cannot stand Transformers, so I won't Transformers again. The reason I don't have the box and I have to put this up in a baggie and put it in storage somewhere and call it a day. But I know I got it and I have it, and that's all that matters. And if you're looking for this and you like this color scheme, then you need to go out to AliExpress or any other place that you get your toys from overseas from and get it. While the price is good, while tariffs are low, I guess. Never know what's going to happen next. So, of course, what are your thoughts? Even down in the comments below. This is Super Robot Ed. Green News reveals today. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.